Hi everyone, and welcome back to the George Collection. I'm Rachel Rightside Blonde. Today marks episode 81, and for today I wanted to jump back into the Ben Stiller cover, which is from August of 1999. We all know what happened in July of 1999, and that is JFK Jr.'s plane went down. So it's interesting that the month after that is the political humor issue. It's also a very interesting and bizarre picture with Ben Stiller sharpening a pencil in a Bill Clinton pencil sharpener wearing a red tie. And it's also the only issue that I'm aware of where John Kennedy had a guest editor-in-chief. And of all people, he had a comedian. I've actually featured this cover before in another George Collection video, so if you want to find that episode to get a deeper analysis of it, feel free. But today, I want to talk about something different. We've heard Trump say central casting many times.
I was like central casting.
Hey, you know what? And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
And these are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
Central casting.
Very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this guy. This man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting. He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting.
They're central casting, the red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean, this is a man that was born for the position.
Casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this. Everyone's in perfect shape. My friend, central casting. I always call him central casting. Boy, is that central casting, that statement. Does he look like central casting? He look like Tom Cruise, but maybe better. The intellect is extraordinary, and the man is extraordinary. He's central casting. I assume you like these people. I assume it's central casting, right, boss?
Is this central casting? This is what we want. This is a great, brilliant man. Looks like, I don't know, very tough. Central casting. When you talk about central casting,
This guy's out of central casting. I'm telling you, there's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy.
But what exactly does he mean by that? I think an article from this issue of George provides some very powerful insight to maybe what Donald Trump is talking about. This article is called "A Star is Born." Our visiting scholar digs a little and unearths the origin of politicians, actors. Politics, like theater, is an actor's medium. With that in mind, have you ever wondered why Washington and Hollywood make such compatible bedfellows? Me neither, but I thought I'd do a little investigating and find out anyway. I did a moderate amount of research in the New York Post archives, Darwin's Origin of Species, and Al Goldstein's Screw magazine. What I discovered may surprise you. Politicians need 3 things to be successful: money, unchecked ego, and a sociopathic drive. Actors need 2 of the above. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a coincidence. The similarities don't end there, nor is their existence random. Actors and politicians are cut from the same cloth, literally. In 1490, a Spanish scientist named Ricky Martin, no relation, invented the first politician. It was a crude prototype made of twigs, mustache hair, calico, and chewing gum. Tragically, Martin later died of boredom. It was not until 1492 that his invention and accompanying notes were noticed under a ping pong paddle in the bedroom of his youngest son, Little Ricky, no relation. The discovery was mistaken for rubbish and placed in the garage. In those days, garage was a French word defined as a shelter or repair shop for an item that has yet to be conceived. As luck would have it, the Martins decided to have a garage sale in their garage. The ragtag politician, casually forgotten beneath a game paddle for 730 days and flippantly placed in the garage, caught the eye of a thrifty sailor who was picking up a few things to take on his journey across the ocean blue. The sailor's name was Javier Smits, but his friends called him Jimmy. He purchased the politician several blankets and a poster thanking God for Friday. These items accompanied Smits on the vessel called the Pinta, which made the long, arduous pilgrimage to the New World, thereby inadvertently depositing the first American politician. Unfortunately, Smits expired while sunbathing on a rock in what would soon become known as Plymouth, Massachusetts. Not until 1620 was the hapless politician discovered. As the politician assimilated into the fold of his new American colony, the white men taught him many things like self-proclaimed elitism and the relocation of indigenous personae. The newfangled politician quickly learned the joy of public speaking and private debauchery. In the years past, politicians with movable arms and legs were created to accommodate the expanding nation. The responsibility of construction befell a lonely merchant named Ira Thalberg, who turned a great profit on the Civil War and enjoyed working with his hands. He had a knack for predicting what an audience would like in a political figure, i.e., a military education and a last name without a vowel on the end. The demand for politicians exceeded the limitations of Ira's humble workshop. He borrowed money from his brother, Louis, and purchased a factory in sunny California. That facility is now known as Industrial Light and Magic. Thalberg and Sons hired some friends from synagogue, and together the cabal proceeded to construct some of the finest politicians to date. The California politician builders unionized in 1915, the same year that the birth of a nation brought moving pictures out of the penny arcades and into the national consciousness. After unionizing, the Thalberg's creative team was referred to as Local 357. Try as they may, Local 357 was unable to produce a politician who was truly handsome, hence the adage, Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. But the elusive, gorgeous candidate continued to confound 357. In their free time, the Thalbergs would patronize the local movie house and contemplate the possibilities of a politician who resembled a movie star. In those days, Americans loved actors, especially attractive ones. Reluctantly, Ira concluded that actor-handsome politicians were not feasible, but politicians who act were. By 1936, all politicians would undergo rigorous training in scene study, rehearsed passion, and Pilates. Eventually, acting like they were truly interested in their constituents became second nature to all those seeking public office. In 1960, debate instruction and assured smiling, empathetic eye contact, and keeping dry were added to the laundry list of requirements. The geriatric publicist who guarded Jean Harlow's and Lena Turner's reputations was hired to help manufacture and protect the image of 357's creations. The latter 20th century also begat more specialized publicity coups for denizens inside the Beltway. Ronald Reagan's distaste for the Woodstock Nation, Richard Nixon's affection for his human daughters, Oliver North's appetite for Denny's Sunday brunch, while life happens to be taking pictures, and Buddy, the chocolate Labrador, assigned to live at the Clinton White House. To this day, conjugal bliss and the appropriate payment of taxes remain timeless hurdles for even the most skilled spin doctor. The most recent and exciting developments in the world of Thalberg's creation, now called poly actors, involve Jennifer Lopez's musical production team and Aaron Spelling's think tank. Their hope is to manufacture and market a multicultural, attractive female host for CNBC's Equal Time. Apparently, Paul Begala and Oliver North are not testing well with males aged 14 to 24. According to a recent article in The Hollywood Reporter, negotiations are almost complete concerning the production of a Sandra Bullock-type soccer mom who will run for Senate. Hopefully, she will have conquered a weight problem and clinical depression. Here again, males 14 to 24 will determine the fate of Ira Thalberg's dream. Arrangements are being made to test market all political speeches, ideas, and promises at Universal Studios Hollywood. Audiences or focus groups will critique all potential poly actors in a virtual town hall setting. Their comment cards will be collected and conveyed to 357's Industrial Light and Magic. For their efforts, all participants will receive a free meal at Steven Spielberg's Dive restaurant. So you see, the association between Tinseltown and Washington may have been serendipitous in the late 1400s, but as the world matured, so too did the relationship betwixt acting and politicians. Hats off to the Thalbergs. You have entertained the hearts and minds of a grateful nation with your blockbuster creations. Obviously, this article mixes in humor, but I don't mean to go all conspiracy here, but there definitely are politicians out there who speak a little too eloquently, if you know what I mean, a little too well versed in the subject of politics. And podcasters for that matter too. It makes me wonder, are they being coached? Are they being tutored? Where did they learn all of these facts so quickly? Where did they come from? Who's behind them? And most importantly, do they have our best interests at heart? I think it's something we all need to take a look at. I hope you found this episode interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.
George, which is a hoot of a magazine. I thought you were a lawyer.
I was.
What happened?
Well, we decided, actually taking a cue from folks like yourself and you around the 1992 election that there was an opportunity here to change the definition of a political magazine. Certainly the way Americans were accessing information about politics and politicians was changing. Candidates were appearing on late-night talk shows, on talk radio, on sitcoms, and there was a kind of a leveling process, and while the rest of media clearly had caught up with that, we felt that political magazines per se hadn't.
Your mother was a hell of an editor at Doubleday.
That's what I hear.
Would she have liked George?
I think she would have.